Hello everyone, and welcome to English Story Radio channel. Today, I'm excited to share an English story with you. If you enjoy this story and want to see more like it, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. That way, you'll be the first to know when I upload new content. Without further ado, let's get started. Once upon a time in a small town, there was a young boy named Timmy. Timmy was an ordinary boy who had always been fascinated by mystery books and detective stories. He had a keen eye for details and loved solving puzzles. Timmy often dreamt of becoming a famous detective like the ones he read about in his books. One day, Timmy stumbled upon a strange case that had the whole town buzzing with curiosity. It was about a missing cat named Whiskers, who belonged to Mrs. Jenkins, the town's sweet old lady. Mrs. Jenkins was devastated and had searched everywhere for her beloved pet, but to no avail. Timmy felt sorry for Mrs. Jenkins and decided to take matters into his own hands. He was determined to solve the case and find Whiskers. Timmy put on his thinking cap and started investigating. He interviewed Mrs. Jenkins and gathered clues from the neighbors. He noticed that the cat had disappeared from the backyard, and there were no signs of a struggle or a break-in. Timmy also found out that Whiskers had a habit of exploring the nearby woods, which made him suspect that the cat might have gotten lost there. With this information, Timmy set off to search the woods. He carefully examined the area and followed paw prints, sniffing for clues. After hours of searching, he finally stumbled upon a small cave hidden in the dense foliage. He bravely entered the cave, and to his delight, he found Whiskers curled up in a corner, hungry but unharmed. Timmy quickly returned Whiskers to Mrs. Jenkins, who was overjoyed and grateful. The whole town applauded Timmy for his bravery and detective skills. The local newspaper even wrote an article about him, hailing him as a young hero. Encouraged by his success, Timmy decided to pursue his dream of becoming a detective. He started helping people in the town with their small mysteries and gradually gained a reputation as a talented sleuth. He even formed a detective club with his friends, and they solved many cases together. One day, Timmy received a letter from a renowned detective agency in the city, inviting him for an interview. He was ecstatic and immediately prepared for the interview with the help of his friends. The day of the interview arrived, and Timmy traveled to the city with his heart pounding with excitement. At the interview, Timmy impressed the agency with his knowledge and skills. They offered him a job as a junior detective, and Timmy happily accepted it. He moved to the city and started working on various cases, from thefts to missing persons. He faced challenges along the way, but never gave up. His dedication and determination paid off, and he soon gained recognition as a brilliant detective. Timmy's friends from the town were proud of him and often visited him in the city. They would listen to Timmy's thrilling stories of his adventures and cheer him on. Timmy was grateful for their support and knew that he wouldn't have come this far without them. Years passed, and Timmy eventually became a senior detective at the agency. He was known far and wide for his sharp mind and keen intuition. He solved numerous cases and received accolades for his exceptional work. Timmy was living his dream, and he was happy. One day, Timmy received a special invitation from the town. It was an invitation to an event organized in his honor for his outstanding achievements. Timmy was deeply moved and returned to his hometown with pride. The event was a grand celebration, and everyone in the town came to congratulate Timmy. Mrs. Jenkins, who had become like a grandmother to Timmy, hugged him tightly and thanked him again for finding Whiskers. Timmy's friends cheered for him as he stood on the stage, receiving a plaque of recognition from the mayor. Timmy felt overwhelmed with gratitude and happiness. He couldn't believe how far he had come from being a young boy with a dream to becoming a successful detective. During the event, Timmy reunited with his friends, who had always supported him throughout his journey. They shared stories and laughed together, reminiscing about their adventures in solving mysteries in the town. Timmy was grateful for their friendship and realized that solving cases was not the only thing that made him happy. It was the camaraderie and teamwork with his friends that truly mattered to him. As the event came to an end, Timmy thanked everyone for their support and encouragement. He expressed his gratitude to his friends, Mrs. Jenkins, and the townspeople for believing in him and helping him pursue his passion. He also thanked the detective agency for giving him the opportunity to fulfill his dream. With a heart full of joy and contentment, Timmy returned to the city to continue his work as a detective. He took on more challenging cases and made a name for himself in the industry. He even wrote a book about his adventures, which became a bestseller and inspired many young aspiring detectives. Years later, Timmy decided to retire from his detective career and return to his hometown. He purchased a small house near the woods and spent his days writing mystery novels, sharing his knowledge and experience with aspiring detectives in the town. He also mentored young detectives, including some of his old friends, who had followed in his footsteps. Timmy lived a peaceful and fulfilling life in his hometown. He continued to be loved and respected by the townspeople, who often sought his advice on solving mysteries. He remained grateful for the journey that had led him to his dream career, and for the friends and mentors who had supported him along the way. In the end, Timmy realized that being a detective was not just about solving cases, but it was also about the relationships he had formed and the impact he had made on people's lives. He was grateful for the lessons he had learned, the friendships he had formed, and the happiness he had found in pursuing his passion. And so, Timmy's story became a legend in his town, inspiring many others to pursue their dreams and become detectives. He lived happily ever after, content in knowing that he had made a positive difference in the world and had achieved his childhood dream of becoming a renowned detective. And as for Whiskers, he remained by Mrs. Jenkins' side, enjoying his days of cozy naps and playful adventures in the town, forever grateful to Timmy for finding him and bringing him back home.